All right, hello, welcome to Z Reviews, and filming with a different camera right now. You might notice some interesting things, but don't worry, we've already run a test on the Inner Fetish channel at the IM channel, and it is working flawlessly. So now we get real close and personal with these audio items on my desk, thanks to the DJI Pocket fucking 2, which I only used in London, Canjam, and then bought the 3. Anyway, so here we are with the Fosi Audio SK02 and SK01. And these are... they bring me back, man. Here's all right, ready? Are you ready? Wait. Micca origin. I'm going to assume half of you people haven't been following me long enough to know what the fucking Micca origin is. And this is the latest model. This is the G2. And this is old as dirt. This is still like 5 or 6 years old for the newest revision of this. And if you know me and you know this channel, I loved this thing. I'll describe the Micca origin, then we're going to get onto the Fosi, which has literally resurrected this form factor. So this is the little Micca origin. Top knob. Clicks on and off. Super convenient and small. Fits on your desk. You had a 1/4 inch output and a 3.5 millimeter output on the front. You had a high-low gain switch. You had a headphone or line out switch for the back. You had a fiber optic input or a USB micro input, which you could then flip with a switch. You had a 5-volt DC little power thing that you could order separately in case you wanted to use fiber optic and didn't want to plug in the power on that for some reason. And you had a little 3.5 millimeter line out so you could use it to control speakers. And it was just such a nice unit. It ran like big Odyssey headphones and had LCD-X in this, was like my favorite thing. And it even had a little light that would turn red and blue depending on if it was left or right channel stuff. So most of the time it was just flashing purple. So, Fosi SK02. Literally everything I just said about that, again, only 4.4 balanced, pushing out 1100 milliwatts. So currently I'm only wearing the Neumann NDH 30s, but I'm on low gain because it doesn't need anything else. You've got a big volume knob on top, digital this time, not analog. It's the same deal where you hold it to turn it on and off. I honestly would just never. So you got a 3.5, a 4.4. Then the back is where we start getting a little bit interesting. So we have got, and I'll unplug some things, fiber optic input, USB power, or USB input. So my phone currently playing Jethro Tull. If I swap this over to Jethro Tull from the phone, when USB is selected as your input instead of optical, fiber optic output or aux out. So you either get this as a analog output to control speakers or feed another amplifier, because it is a pre-out, or it'll pass through 3.5 millimeter version of fiber, which if I do that, play Aqualung, lower Aqualung, then raise the volume over here, because I've got the fiber optic coming out from the USB conversion. It only converts USB to fiber optic. It will not convert fiber to fiber. But boom, I threw this into this because this thing's just been sitting around collecting dust. The XD05 Pro. So I could then run, and I got to be careful taking this off because there's a whole series of things happening on my head right now. Tungsten. Oh, Jesus. I'm just going to... There's something weird on my head right now, okay? Ooh. All right, enough of Aqualung. Evan Call. So the point being, all right, take this off my head now. Hold on, take that off. Hang that back up. Mute this or just literally power this giant monster off. If you don't know, this thing is monstrous. But this is literally it's the origin, which is it's gotten bigger. It's the exact same length as the origin, a little bit wider, a little bit taller. It's got like a ridge around the top of it. Maybe not as clean looking as the origin used to be. Bigger knob though. Fully appreciate. Let's go back to wearing the NDH 30s for a second. So you get your 4.4 out in the front with enough wattage to kill you. You have your gain switch here. Make sure my camera's pointed right. High gain, low gain, little indicators. You get your Frequency indicator 44.1, 48, 96, 192. So coming off my phone, it is currently 192 playing Evil Dead. No volume knob indicator, which kind of bothers me. It's like the one thing I wish it had was something around it, or a light that lit up over here, or a bar, just so I know where it is. However, just like I was saying about the purple indicator on the Origin, wait, right there. So you literally get a VU. It's a very, very small VU that's lighting up. And if I go to my sound test and do a left, right, it is blue, red. But then any other music is usually purple because there's something out of both channels. And then you got a little power indicator. And over here, your DSD levels, because of course it does DSD. Why wouldn't it do DSD? And then you have your optical or USB. Now, it's blinking USB because it's not connected currently. As soon as you play something, it's like, oh, now I'm connected again. So let's throw away this. We're going to get to this one, which has a battery in it. This one does not have a battery in it. You need to be powering it. So if you're running it off a phone like I just was, you will be powering it off your phone. More likely you'd have this with like a laptop. So now let's take this cord. We'll throw that somewhere. Let's plug in this. So this is the power cord that comes with it. It's a USB-C. I'm running it out of the Topping P50, which is a linear power supply. It actually is a cool cable because it has an attached adapter to go either USB-C or you put on the full size. So we do need to power this. So now USB-C, as soon as you plug it in, it's on. Low gain, it's still flashing USB, but obviously there's no signal coming from this. Switch the mode to optical. Now the computer is what's feeding it. Is anything playing? That I might have paused it. I paused it, and then I raised the volume, and it was very loud. And even on low, it was loud. So the good thing, or I would say the best thing about this, is not just, okay, it's convenient, okay, it's small, okay, it's got a great power. It fucking sounds good. There's a line where it's like, this is a convenient piece of equipment, and I'm sure you'll like it. It was the same with the Micca Origen. This is a very convenient piece of equipment 6 years ago, and I'm sure you'll like it. But the Origin sounded better than a lot of things. And guess what? The SK02 sounds better than a lot of things. As far as DAC amp combos, and get this, so I don't know what the price is because it's not being released until tomorrow. There's the G3. G3 still available. I don't think they've upgraded it to have, hold on, let me see if they show the back. Nope, it's still a USB mini or micro. But the new one, Fosi over here, this has got 1100 milliwatts at 32 ohms into the 4.4, 280 milliwatts at 32 ohms out of the 3.5. You've got optical in and out, USB in, power USB in only if you wanted that. And then you get headphone outs, and then it's aluminum alloy, blah, 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 multifunction up. Oh, if you plug it in USB, and I should have fucking tested it, you can tap the knob to play pause on a device. If you do it on a computer, it might work, but it's depending on if the actual software knows to go through the Windows binds for that. But either way, even if you're not, hold on, bring this back up. Double tap will mute the unit, and it doesn't indicate it's muted, which is another one of those things. Like, just blink something like here, 1, 2. It's muted. I have no idea it's muted. I first plugged it in and I thought it was broken because I'm like, why the fuck is it? Double tap with the right rhythm. The volume step is digital, so it's very, very balanced. It's clean. But like, my Neumanns aren't supposed to sound like, they sound great. They're like a $600 headphone, which I bought, and they sound great. But they're like really sounding good. I got to do a test right now. We're going to stop talking about this for 1 second. Lower the fuck out of it. Move you over, because we're going to plug you into IEMs, which of course can't go wrong. Dunu Zen Pros, stethoscope of the audio world, to tell me if there's any noise in this thing. And I'm running a balance, so if there is, it'll be very loud noise. Let's talk about the SK01 for a second, because it's in the same chassis, but it's a different beast. This is completely analog. You power it with USB, and then on the back side, you get simply a 3.5 millimeter line in and line out. That's it. You have to feed it. I have this wild Amazon Basics with the adapter from fucking Radio Shack. With a new camera, you can see that it says Radio Shack on it. But yeah, that is feeding it. I was using this insanely high quality DD Hi-Fi jumper to feed in from that when it wasn't using optical, because I was using the optical in, and then that becomes just a line out, then I was feeding signal from that to this. So you can just feed it like that. However, the point of this is it is a line in, line out, 3-tone control unit. So you get treble, middle, and bass instead of mid-range. You get a volume knob, which is also a click-on volume like the old Origen. And then you get 3 buttons. Gain, which you'll learn this real fucking fast. Down, and like compressed down, is low gain. Because this unit is like 2.5 watts. It's some absurdly high amount of power that it's like, why would you do this? 2,400 milliwatts. What? Why would you? Okay, you know what? Fine, fuck it. So there's your little indicator, which it says power and volume, and you turn this, and it looks like there's a LED here, but that's a sign of a fucking microphone? I don't know what that hole is, but there's your indicator up there. So you get your volume knob. You goddamn make sure this is pushed in for low gain. You then have tone controls, which pushed in disables tone controls and pushed out enables tone controls. So you could adjust middle, treble, mid-range, and bass. And then you get a loudness button, which I actually just talked about this not too long ago. Loudness is designed for when you're playing something quiet. If you're playing something quiet and you can't wake somebody up, loudness will exacerbate the the highs and the lows. Just it sort of V-shapes everything. So it brings a little more life back to very quiet music. Do not use loudness if you're already listening loud. That removes the point of loudness. Loudness is not needed when things are loud. Loudness, which is a stupid fucking word, is to bring quiet noises and make them sound loud, even though they're not. I don't know how this camera handles whispering. How is it handling whispering? Also, Bob Ross mousepad. So let's now. So this basically is a 1/4-inch or 3.5 headphone amp. No balanced on this, but it's analog, so it would have to be balanced internally. So you get 1/4-inch out, which I've got going to these, the Elex, which thank you to headphones.com. Click links to headphones.com. I need them to sponsor me. Go back to Munich. I got to have that food, that French breakfast, and the Afghani food. I can't ride scooters in the park with anyone else. So thank you to headphones.com for sending me the Elex. So this, which I probably should give it a source. Let's plug this in here. Very tight 3.5. It's actually quality feeling. We should probably play Pearl Jam. Or switch it to the Kisniver OST. Let's do that. Oh, did I just... What did I just do? Oh, there's a whole bunch of shit. Oh, I Doc Browned that. So now there's a wire hanging out my head. It's fine. It just means I get to do that. Hold on, I'm disconnecting this wire from this camera on top of my head. I wish you guys knew what I looked like. I look like a fucking freak. There's a camera literally between my eyes, which is why it looks so low. Usually the camera's up here, the top of my head looking down. But now it's on the bridge of my nose, which is crazy. Both of these units, both with an L, sound fucking phenomenal. Like IFI Zendak levels of phenomenal. Like better than they should be for their cost. And again, I don't know the cost of this one. I'm assuming it's under $150, considering this one is like $80. You know what? It is. It's $80. I don't know if you can buy a better amplifier. Like, the fact that it's a weird fucking thing with multiple knobs but cancel that out. $80. You have an $80 budget for a fucking headphone amplifier. What do you buy? Because up until... I'm just scratching the bridge of my nose. You spend more money and you can get JDS Lab stuff. And that's fantastic. I use the Atom 2 all the time. But under $100 standalone amplifier, this is probably the best one. I wish it came with a wire to plug it in. I don't think it came with a 3.5 to RCA. And you're going to need to have a source that is a source. Like, you can't just give it digital. But I don't think you could do better than this amplifier. Fuck all the tone. Fuck everything up here. Just for the sound quality alone. It's crazy clean. They did a little comparison on the website for, where is it? This. Which they didn't need to compare the two because they're not even close to the same fucking purpose. But yeah, 2400 milliwatts, dumb. Versus, this doesn't say 1100, but I know it's 1100. 3-minute line in, and then the signal to noise ratio, 120 decibels on this, 108 decibels on this. But it's only analog. So of course it's going to be higher. And the THD on both of them is 0.001. These are fucking bizarrely good units for how much they cost. All right, I'm going to plug in the stethoscopes now. Linked in the description. Which, if YouTube changes its stupid layout to be so stupid that the description is pressed to the right and collapsed, you only see like one line, and you can't even see comments. You're scrolling down and the comments are all the way to the side. I don't know. I'm testing out a new layout that fucking YouTube forced on me, and I couldn't hate it anymore. Although it is showing me a lot of cool videos I want to watch. I didn't even know that was playing. So I hear it clicking, like click, 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 when I turn the volume knob like it's setting into a different mode. On high gain, dead silent. That's all I wanted to test. Because usually, I mean, it's a digital knob. It's a digital signal. I do have the music paused. I don't have like a sound of silence thing. But there's no sound at all coming out of this. If the amps are active, this thing is black. I don't even know how to describe like it's actually like a warm sound. It is a Sabre DAC, which I think is the biggest upgrade over the it's the Sabre ES9038Q2M with the SGM8262. These numbers get me so hot. I'm so turned on by all these numbers and bullshit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's on Amazon. It's on AliExpress. They gave me a whole clusterfuck of links to share with you guys. The worst part about this unit is I don't know where to stick the waifu sticker. I guess it's going to have to go on the side like there. I want this form factor back. I miss this. I miss being able to recommend, even for people with like higher end headphones. These are not cheap. NH30s are not cheap. $900 IMs. This was the best little thing because you just sat it there and you just pressed your hand in it and it just felt right. Guess what? It's back. It's back. It's literally fucking back. It's like a micro JDS Labs element with a big knob on top, only the knob is slightly smaller and the box is slightly weirder looking. And it sounds so fucking good. What am I listening to? John Coltrane now? John fucking Coltrane? I didn't think I was going to spend this much time with the IMs during this review, but legitimately, this thing sounds amazing. I wonder, you know what? I would do a blind test with this. This is good enough to do one of those like crazy, like get golden sound involved. We set up a room, we serve tea, we have a black curtain, the lights get dim, and then we say, you will now listen to a headphone amplifier. And if you can tell me the difference between this amplifier and this amplifier, you will win crumpets. I'm sure that's what the prize is always in England. It's crumpets. This is a fucking solid... This is putting on high gain. It's so clean. You can't... The field of view isn't wide enough yet. I'm getting other lenses, but I'm just doing the thing with my hands. Like, what is this... I got to plug in headphones just so you could hear what I'm listening to. Like, holy shit, lady. You are going berserk. Let me show you this berserk lady. This bitch is cray-cray. If you can listen to... Are you fucking kidding me? 50 Greatest Hits of Opera. Xerxes. Xerxes. HWV40, Recitivo, and Aria, Obrma, My Fu. And then it keeps going. It gets cut off by the actual top. It says large something. This is... actually, My Fu La. This is... I'm putting this into the sound demo new test playlist. So that one day, if you're a $5 patron or higher, and you're listening to a sound demo of a headphone that I get, this song is going to play, and you're going to be like, holy shit, tell that lady to calm the fuck down. This is great. I'm glad it has... The optical out is so important. If you're a laptop user, and like I travel all the fucking time, and I get on planes and things, it has to be powered with the USB, which, you know, you plug into a laptop, your laptop's going to be fine. Or usually if you're docked on a table, your laptop is there plugged in, so it doesn't matter that this is drawing from the USB power. Or if you really want to be that guy, you could get one of those... DD Hi-Fi makes a USB-C splitter that you plug the USB-C into like your phone, and then one side will power the phone with a USB-C input, and the other side is USB-C that is the OTG, which would work in this case, although it'd be really hard to fit it sideways with the optical cable there if you were going to use the optical. But yeah, you got speakers on your desk, and you need just a cheap DAC amp with a volume knob to control your speakers analog. Fucking done. You got to go somewhere, and you need to also have your laptop turn to fiber optic to share somewhere else. Super rare option nowadays. Fucking done. It's got the high-low gain. The only thing it doesn't have, the thing I'm going to just give you this reminder, is that the fucking Micca Origin had a switch for headphones or line out, and that doesn't. That's the only thing it doesn't have. It doesn't have that. Unless the muting function only mutes the headphone section, but then you wouldn't want to do that anyway because you can't see visually that what it's doing, and then you fuck up. I can actually take it off of high gain. I was still listening on high gain for no reason. I love that light. Two winners. If you need just an incredibly powerful, clean, stupid headphone amp with, for some reason, tone controls, because you have shitty headphones, this is perfect. You don't have good headphones, you got shit headphones. Look, it happens to everybody. It happened to me. Many years of my life, I had shit headphones. And you know what? They really could have used a bump in the mid-range, or some more bass, or maybe less treble. Boom. Headphone amp. The only thing I would change about this unit is I wish it had RCA plugs in the back of it. Just one set of RCA plugs, and then the line out. So you can get this to also do these controls for something you're just passing through. You could have an input 3.5 and an output 3.5 back to RCA and do some speakers and just have it have all these controls now for speakers. Or, you know, just a 2.5 watt fucking headphone amp. These are dumb. Anyway, SK01, linked in the chat, in the description, in everything, on the Twitters. SK02 is going to be fucking popular. Fosi Audio has already won you over. If you have a Fosi speaker amp, I was going to bring a Fosi speaker amp over to demonstrate, because they talk about with this unit specifically, oh, you could use the 3.5 out to RCA ins on the Fosi amp, and then you could set the Fosi amp and control it here. And they wanted me to demonstrate that. The problem with that is every single Fosi amplifier I have is currently in use. The 3 ZA3s in my theater over there, and the garage has 4 Fosi amps powering those massive JBL speakers, which you could see me tuning on the second channel, Zeo second channel. So sorry, Fosi, I don't have enough amps. You get to send more amps. And while you're at it, send more of these, because these would be the ultimate stocking stuffer for anyone who's an audiophile on the go. I would absolutely, I might just bring these to, like, because it's such a small form factor. I wonder if I could just bring this to like Axpona and maybe, certainly New York Can Jam. This is going to be in the hotel room. Just plug things into it. It's fucking done. I could bring this, but that is big and battery and on the go. And this is more like just, I need to travel and I want to give me optical. Give it to me. Anyway, I'm done, you're done, wallpaper's done. What do you think about the new camera setup? I'm still working on color corrections. It's probably going to be a little rough. I made the lights a little brighter because this camera tends to have a smaller aperture than the thing. But the fact that I can like get close to things and we could read things up close certainly works well in the inner fetish channel for IMs. I want to know what you think about it for stuff like here. Look, I could do my own B-roll. I am B-roll now. Don't you want to be B-roll? Just dragging my beard along everything. It's a great song. All right, I'm going to listen to this song. You guys can get that wallpaper in the Wallpaper Horde. You can answer questions in the comments. You can support me directly on Patreon and Subscribestar, where you get to see these reviews. By the way, this song, in case you're wondering, because I said it was really good, is, hold on, it's right by her thighs. Schoolboy Q, Hell of a Night. It's from the Mr. Robot soundtrack, but Schoolboy Q, Hell of a Night. Great fucking song. Wallpaper Horde, available in description. Every wallpaper I've ever used ever. It syncs with you. It's used as a torrent protocol. Everyone gets it if everyone gets it. 2, Patreon, Subscribestar. Support this channel. See reviews early. Not this one, because it's coming out literally fucking tomorrow. And I'm going to be lucky to have it process overnight. I apologize, but they were like, hey, can you release it on this date when we're releasing another thing? And I'm like, sure. Whatever, I'll get it done. So, apologize for the last minute recording, but I got to spend at least a few hours with it, and I am fucking sold. I was super excited, by the way, when I realized it was literally just a Micca Origin revamped for 2024. So that's sweet. See reviews early. Participate in yard sales, 1st to the 10th of every month. I might sell something. Like, why would I sell this in the yard sale? So you could spend $61 on it, and then it cost me $20 to ship it to Arkansas. So probably just buy this, but other things will end up in the yard sale. From the 1st to the 10th of every month, I just sell things. Things that don't fit on my wall anymore, things that companies sent me 2 of, things that people have donated to the channel. So, hey, Zeos, I don't want to give you $5. Here's a $300, 6-year-old amp. Boom. Sell them in the yard sale. And I do ship internationally for half the price of shipping and free to the continent of the United States and Canada. The other benefit is sound demos. When I do sound demos, they are no longer here on YouTube. They are private. I should film the sound demos with this camera, which should have better microphones than the thing, but I use the other microphone. Whatever. If you missed the sound demos, if you don't know where they all went, God and lawyers came down and smite them. So now they're all privatized, and all new sound demos are private and can use whatever tracks you want, whatever wallpapers you want. So if you want to see sound demos, that is a writ for the patrons of $5 or higher. $10 gets you in the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat where you can buy, sell, and trade gear on the lifetime swap meet. I did this wrong. Telegram chat, talk to me directly. Talk to other people directly. It's a great little community. It comes and goes. Every 3 months it gets wiped and reborn. If you're still a patron, you come back in. It's fantastic. If you are in that chat ever, even for a day, you get into the swap meet channel where you get to buy, sell, and trade gears for life, which is a big part of being an audiophile, is not keeping shit around. I'm bad at it, but we're working on that. That's what the yard sales are for. So, links to things. Thank you to people and places. The Bob Ross desk mat, which is super fucking chill. And, yeah, the pocket, too, which is strapped to my fucking head, so I look like a cyborg. We good? I'm good, you're good, we're good? Let's go download this camera and see how it came out. And I'll see you in the next one, which won't be this camera because I've already recorded like 6 more.